As we get into a new year, it's the perfect time to take a look back at some of the biggest moments in media and marketing from 2024. From jaw-dropping AI breakthroughs to new digital platforms taking over, technology has totally flipped the script on how brands connect with consumers. But what's next? 2025 is going to be wild, with immersive experiences, data-driven creativity, and next-level marketing shaking things up. So what can we expect in this fast-paced, tech-driven world? Let's dive into the big trends and even bigger bets with Amin Lakhani, CEO of Mindshare South Asia. I'm thrilled to have you in the studio with me again, Amin.
Same here, Delshad. Always a pleasure.
So let's get straight into it. Yes. Tell me, what for you were the really big things from 2024 that have truly shaken up the industry, as well as, media buying and planning for an agency like Mindshare, a leading firm. Lots of action this past year. Right. What were the big moments for you?
2024 has been a challenging year, to say the least. From economic to political uncertainties, we've seen it all. And when we look back at the year, I feel that, organic growth has been extremely challenging for businesses to come by, right? So I think that's the first thing that I look at it. The second one is that the conversation around growth has moved from only growth to sustainable growth. So I think that's the second big learning or push that we've seen. And what all of these things, if you put them together, has done is that open up room for optimization, has opened up room for consolidation, right? And when I talk about consolidation, you're seeing consolidation across the industry spectrum, right? You have clients consolidating, coming together, right? We have agency opcos consolidating, right?
We'll talk about that, yeah.
And then you have, media owners consolidating, and something that you've just recently seen in the Disney-Jio merger, right? It has also opened up, an opportunity for collaborating, coming together to win, in the same challenging environment. Clients are now shifting the ask from siloed expertise to stating it's very, very difficult to manage 10 partners or multiple partners. How can Mindshare come and, solve this for us from one brief to one execution? And therefore, simplification is the next big thing that has emerged in 2024. So I think a lots to learn, lots to chew upon. And, they say that you either win or you learn. I think 2024, for us as leaders, has been a great balance of both winning as well as learning a lot.
Well said. And it's interesting what you said about this kind of simplification of solutions that clients are looking for. It was also a big year for pitches. Lots of very large accounts up for grabs. Some of the estimates suggest rupees 2,000 crore in total. Tell me, how competitive was it, Amin? And not just as, the leader of Mindshare, but if you look at it from an industry perspective, how good or bad was it to have that many pitches in what could some people would say a challenging year of sorts?
So pitches are always a great challenge, primarily because they push you back into thinking and thinking on your feet and, bringing all your capabilities together, when you were kind of thinking about, bringing in the client or bringing in your business. For us, all of that and more went into when we went and presented our vision to extend our partnership with Unilever, right? And, and the entire center of conversation is that how is Mindshare partnering with the client in transforming itself to help the client not only grow, but to continue to win in the market. So I think that was a very, very enriching experience. But not all reviews or pitches are, enriching experiences. Yes, there's a lot of stress. There is a lot of, there is a lot of push. There is a lot of pressure. And but we are in a service industry, and I think pitches are a normal, are the new normal when we look at the new model of agency business.
But do you think it's too much? Do you think there's too many pitches, too many, you know, flips in the script?
I think at one end, you can't stop a client from, you know, discovering what is new in the market, and therefore, is there a better way to solve for their problems and their challenges?
Or more cost effective?
Or more cost effective, right? And it's also upon the agencies to decide, you know, how much is enough, and at what point in time you kind of draw a line, and at what place will you draw a line.
Where is that line for you?
Yeah, I think to be safer in this conversation, I think each agency will need to decide for themselves. I think the industry bodies are also coming together, and I'm glad that that conversation is emerging, you know, within the industry body as well. That, you know, where do you draw the line, and, you know, what is a good line to have, you know, at which place. So I think those conversations have emerged, and I think as we move along, it is only going to be progressive in nature.
Fair enough. Staying on this for a moment, I mean, going into 2025, which categories do you think will emerge as the big spenders? We're not going to have such a heavy H1 like we did, you know, previously with the elections, IPL, through the year also. So 2025, two-part question: which categories, you know, who will be the big spender? Give me a sense of what's going to happen.
So I would rather take a step back and see where will clients continue to spend and dial up more. For example, quick commerce and e-commerce is a great enabler. We've seen huge amount of traction in this year, and the clients continue to build capacities, build capabilities, and are trying to navigate that entire commerce environment, and we are partnering with them, and that will continue to grow significantly, right? Digital as a work stream, as a medium with its capability now to deploy across the funnel, will see massive growth and massive unlock waiting to happen. So I think that's the second piece of growth that I reckon that will come through, right? Within that, and if you look at what is happening on e-commerce, the retail media and the opportunity therein, I think we are only very limited in our view of what we are doing with retail media, but there's huge opportunities that retail media has to offer, and I'm seeing that clients will adopt that much more, right? And since we are on to 2025, influencer marketing again will take the center stage. It has come a long way, huge amount of fillip, but there will be a sense of rationalization. Clients will ask the questions and more important questions about measurement as to how do we measure an influencer marketing campaign. What are the efforts that agencies are taking to make sure that, you know, we're doing the planning thought right on influencer marketing, and how are we, you know, taking influencers through the journey of consumer increasingly. So I think there are more relevant, more important questions. So it will move from nice to do, you know, cherry on the icing conversation to really meaningful conversation. I think that's we can see. Yes, we will continue to deploy, you know, gaming is another big, you know, opportunity area. We are seeing that time spent on gaming is increasing. However, brands are still thinking as to where does this entire gaming opportunities fit into their marketing solutions game. So I think that's another area of opportunity that we will see going up.
Finding that fit for
finding that fit
for your clients,
for the clients,
right? Let me stay on you know, the point about influencer marketing just for a moment more. I mean, really, what is the problem there? You know, there's the issue of fake followers. Measurement is an issue. Where are we heading, and what can happen in 2025 that will be good for you know, clients as well as creators, and where, you know, do solution providers like you fit in?
Yeah. So very interestingly, it's not something, you know, if I were to step back and say that. It's not something new that the clients are dealing with. It's just the way in which the format and the number of influencers that have come to play, right? We're talking about more than 2 million influencers available for monetization and growing, you know. Also, it's an emerging and evolving field. So what I thought around 2-3 months ago is no more applicable because it's now jumped to the next level, right? And therefore, a lot of thought needs to go in as to how do we bring that in. If you actually look at the categorization of influencers, there's macro, there's micro, there's nano influencers. If you look at the genres, then there are multi-genres at which, you know, they're available. If you talk about food, you talk about tech, you talk about auto, BFSI, and multitudes of genres. If you put another cut of languages, you will have, you know, another segment emerging out of it. So, for example, there's vernacular, there's regional within that, and, you know, all of those things. So it's come too soon. It's become complicated. But it is real, it is there for us. It is helping brands to grow. It is helping clients meet their business objectives. And therefore, it is upon us as leaders in the market to really make sense of all of these things as to how much of influencer, when of the influencer, and how to measure that. Yeah. So I think our focus is on all of these areas.
And the regulations.
And the regulations surrounding it.
We spoke about retail media, of course, with everything that's happening with quick commerce, lots of action there. Let me just quickly ask you, Amin, there, what exactly are advertisers and your clients looking for on that front?
So very simple. I think clients are looking at multiple things, but at the heart of everything is that how do I grow ahead of the market is the principal question, right? All clients, most of the clients are looking at business growth through marketing solutions, right? And that's become real. Yeah. And the environment, you know, given that consumer choices have just proliferated, there's so much of competition, the time spent across medium is only making things far more complicated than it ever was. And therefore, how do we make the sense of the consumer journey for our clients is the place where we are spending most of our time, right? How do we build muscle when we are deploying upper funnel? How do we convert them faster when there are in-market audiences, and, you know, how do we get them to buy our clients' products? I think this is where we are constantly spending time, learning, devising strategies, and deploying media, and, you know, becoming better at it by day.
Okay, the big question, perhaps that can be the biggest opportunity or the biggest spanner in the works for a lot of people, depending on how you look at it. Let's talk about AI. You know, how has it's been? You know, it's been everything that everyone's talking about this past year, generative AI. What do you see happening? How is it helping you do your job better? Media planning, buying. How are you using AI to really optimize for everything in planning and buying?
So for us, AI is helping us, is touching our entire value chain, whether it is optimization of campaigns in media. So if you look at, you know, some of the hyperlocal campaigns that we are running, Touchwood, you know, one of the largest hyperlocal campaign deployment. And each of these campaigns have multiple line items. And if you look at, you know, upwards of 12, 14,000 campaigns for a particular client, it is manually not possible to kind of look at the data 24/7, 365 days a year. And therefore, AI is helping us do that very efficiently and effectively. And of course, thanks to our partners who are helping us deploy AI models onto their platform. And therefore, that is how it is helping. On the other hand, AI is helping us, you know, unlock the opportunity on dynamic content generation. So I think that's the other unlock that AI is trying to do. And obviously, it is very early days, but the initial betas that we've seen are fabulous, right? And it is really creating the unlock that we've been waiting to, you know, kind of do. On the other hand, a lot of repetitive tasks are getting controlled and, you know, simplified for our people. So I think that's where the other AI, you know, thing is helping us deploy. At a broad WPP level, the WPP open tool is really helping us, you know, come together, collaborate better, really, you know, dial up our, you know, thinking in a way, in ways that we've never seen before, you know, and the backbone of all of that is powered by AI. Yeah, and you would have read in the books that, you know, there's significant investment going into powering that, right? So I think we are fully AI mode on, and as I look forward to 2025, this will only scale up, to the next level.
Going from tactics to tangibles. Absolutely. Because you mentioned WPP, and let me come to Mindshare specifically. I mean, where are sort of the key growth areas that you're looking at? Again, just going back, recapping some of the things you've already said also. But what are you looking forward to in terms of your goals for Mindshare? As a firm, I know that you've made some significant hirings this past year in commerce. You also got a new CSO. So what are you looking at?
So, as I said, that we will continue to be, champions of full funnel thinking into the marketplace, right? And therefore, there are 2 to 3 areas that we are fully bullish on. One is this entire, consumer understanding and thinking, and therefore the hires in that particular order, right? And therefore, we brought in the experts to really drive our strategic thinking. And what this strategic thinking will actually help us do is to understand consumer journeys better, understand platform dynamics better, help us, consult with our clients to tell them where to deploy, when to deploy, how much to deploy, and how effective will it be from an integrated media deployment perspective. So I think that's one area. The second big area of call out is for us is data, and there are 2 parts in data. One is leveraging this entire AI conversation that I did to run AI models to understand and better understand how our media deployment is shaping clients' business, right? Which mediums are working well for a client, which creatives are working well for a client, how much media weight is working better for a client, and at what point in time we should stop deploying because it is then going into an inefficient zone. So I think that entire analytics piece is going to help us, trying to answer these very questions. And the next part of data is helping clients set up this entire first party data capability. Because as we go forward, data privacy, very important. All clients are wanting to understand and, win in the game of data. And therefore, what we are doing, Mindshare is teaming up with Group M as well as WPP to give a consolidated solution to our clients in setting up marketing automation, CDP, and some of the other areas.
Yeah. The new laws coming up, it's going to append a lot of things.
Right.
So preparing for all of that, of course. I mean, let me sort of an aside here, given, how you're sort of bolstering your capabilities right now to really serve your clients in this sort of, holistic fashion. But there's also the perpetual threat of in-housing, which is kind of, it comes and goes. We have this conversation at regular cycles. Do you see an upward trend again there in in-housing? Famously, of course, P&G globally experimented with in-housing. It says it got great results from that. We've seen on this, in India, we saw Godrej do it, GCPL do it with their creative, bringing it entirely in-house. Is that 2025, are we going to see an upward trend there? Not? What do you think?
I think clients need to, and clients will continue doing that. And we've seen a lot of places where we are partnering with the clients to help them set up their in-house units, right? We are also working with a lot of other clients where we are taking over from their in-house users, in-housing initiative and providing for them managed services, right? So I think there is a lot of flux. As I mentioned earlier, last few years have been extremely challenging years. Everybody is in the market to find what is the best model that is working. I don't think the jury is out yet, right? There is a lot of capabilities that agencies with the pool of talent, with wide-ranging capabilities and no sunken cost can offer the clients, solutions that they are valuing. There will be clients who will decide to say that, okay, why don't I bring some of these in-house, see how it works, see if there's a secret sauce that they can create. which I would love to discover at some stage.
Get that recipe.
Get that recipe as well. And on the other hand, we are working very closely and tightly knit as an extended arm of the client's team to develop their own secret sauce. So I think it's a multi-modal industry and an environment, and I think all of them flourishing and growing as we move into 2025.
Mindshare, of course, very strong in India. I mean, is there anything in the portfolio, your current client portfolio, that you feel that you need to sort of up the ante on in 2025?
No, as a matter of fact, we need to up the ante across. We can't take anything lightly. As I mentioned.
So currently, where do your strengths lie in terms of, you know, the kind of category of clients that you work with? Levers, of course,
CPG,
long
CPG is a great strength. We have great strength in auto. We have great strength in retail. We have great strength in OTT, right? And likewise, I think I'm blessed to have a portfolio of clients and the trust of clients. And therefore, there is good amount of, and there is a great amount of geographical presence across all 4 or 5 of our key cities where we are present. So I think we are blessed to have that portfolio, and the type of people, you know, and the quality of talent that Mindshare has today, which is in the service of all these clients, right? So I think there is no day that we want to slack. There's no day that we want to be complacent about. We want to be on our toes, and we want to ensure that we're delivering excellence on a daily basis. So that would be my, and this is to my team as well.
A good message to them. One final question for you. I mean, maybe on a personal, professional / kind of level. Is there, I mean, anything about the new year, you know, something that keeps you up at night? What do you sort of, you know, worry about? What keeps you up?
What keeps me up is this entire concept of unlearning. You know, we become so close to what we've learned and grown up with, and the willingness to let go, you know, doesn't come easily. And my biggest fear is not to let go, because unless and until I let go, I will not be in a position to learn new things and absorb the changing dynamics that the industry and the market has to offer. And the fear is about becoming a dinosaur. The fear is about becoming old from a thinking perspective. Right? And therefore, very, very, very much important to have a founder's mindset, right? That's, you know, and look at every day from a first principles basis and solve for you know, problems that come to you with that type of mindset.
So thank you so much for your time. I mean, great chatting with you as always.
Always. Thank you, Delshad.
Thank you.